What is going on, guys out there, Hustle Project Nation? We've got my main man, Chris Jones, the world's second best looking internet marketer. No, the man is a legend. He is. If you guys have not heard about Chris Jones, you're about to get a massive amount of value. The man's story is absolutely inspirational. He's went from, and I'll let him tell his story, to making a bunch. If you read the title on YouTube, it's not clickbait. It is an actual true story. The man has made a ton of money on Amazon FBA. He's launched his own personal brand, which we're going to do a part 2 to talk about that. And that's it, man. That's the introduction. What is up, CJ?
All good, all good. Coffee at hand, smiles on deck. All is good. Life is beautiful, baby.
Yeah, man. So you've been up to a lot, man. You recently bought the new vehicle, which we want to talk about. That thing is really, really cool. Yeah. But we'll get into that later, man. So, geez, we've got a lot to talk about today, man, and I don't want to waste a lot of time. So what, tell me a little bit about your story, man. The beginning story of Chris Jones kind of in getting into the internet marketing game.
Yeah. I mean, this is something that everyone's kind of asked me at the start. Like, how have you got to kind of where you are with like the social media presence and stuff like that? Where were you 2 years ago? Actually, where were you 5 years ago? What were you doing? How many years has it took you to build up to where you are in a status that, you know, I'm just Chris, you know, who works from his kitchen anyway. That's all I'll ever be in my own person. But I started my Amazon business 2 years ago. So backtracking from that, I had a career in personal training. So, you know, I was an overweight kid. And, you know, this might sound like the next story, another guy becoming a personal trainer who was overweight and so on. But I think it just, when I was overweight and, you know, I used to eat just so much. And, you know, I didn't understand all kind of psychological stuff that was maybe going on in my head in order to eat 6, 7, 8 bags of crisps, that's chips in the US, before going to sleep at night in my bed. So it kind of sprung something on me when, all my friends and myself, I think back in 2009, we went on a holiday to a Greek island, and it was like I was almost ashamed of myself, like how I looked. So I was like, I need to get home and do something about this. I can't just be wearing a t-shirt all my life and a hoodie. Yes.
Got the hoodie now. That's a Gymshark though, man. That's a fitness hoodie.
Right. And I got home and I was like, I'm going to pursue a career in personal training. So I was like, okay. So I done a 6-week intensive personal training course. I signed up and I moved to Cardiff, which is in the UK, and I got all of that started. Now, prior to becoming a personal trainer, around 18 or 19 years old, I'm 26 now, just turned. Happy birthday. Thank you so much.
Happy birthday, CJ.
So before all the personal training stuff, you know, I was an ice cream man. I was a laborer. I was a builder. I worked in a Chinese. I had so many jobs, but the only thing that I was focused on was Friday nights, Saturdays, and Sundays. And that was for, you know, a lot of alcohol, stuff that I shouldn't have been doing. I got myself into a lot of trouble. And, you know, the personal training path is something that really did help me get on my way to kind of find myself, Jace, really. And yeah, and that's then what led into Amazon FBA. Just like an extension of my personal training journey. So over 2.5 years, over 2 years ago now, I stopped my whole personal training career, and it was one night, it was one distinctive moment where I came home from working on the floor for like 10 or 12 hours in the gym. I was sweating all day. I'm a sweater. So like I had these gym clothes on. I'd be training clients back to back to back. And I was thinking, like, my apartment at the time in where I lived was so expensive that I could barely afford to eat anyway, let alone put fuel in my car to go and drive to my clients, to then train them, to go through the hours, to then get home, to repeat the monotonous process 6, 7 days a week. And it was one night where I came home and I kind of lied on my bed and I said to myself, like, I can't do this anymore. I can't physically do this. Number one, I'm going to make myself physically ill or mentally ill. So I was like, from that point, I actually opened up my first laptop that my dad bought me for my birthday. And I typed in on Google, and this is a true story, I spoke about this before. I typed in, how do I make money while I sleep? And And this comes back to you, Jace. So the first thing that popped up on Google that night, and that was like 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning, I was absolutely shattered. So the last thing I really wanted to do was have a look in the internet for stuff. But it was from that point that got me to where I am now. And the one thing that popped up on Google was Kindle Direct Publishing. And there you were on the videos page of Kindle Direct Publishing. I followed you for so much, learning from your stuff. And for us to be connected now is an absolute blessing. So
very cool.
And it all stemmed from there. So you have actually been a massive part in my life, inspiration and motivation, Jay. So
I appreciate that, man.
And yeah, and it was from the Kindle journey where I made a lot of mistakes with Kindle, and I actually went against what you gave in terms of advice on YouTube, and that was, I went with the quantity of books. I was like, quantity, forget about the quality. We'll engineer that later on, baby. And I ended up getting like several accounts of Kindle banned. One of my months, I earned £863 on Kindle. The next month, I was banned. So I was actually doing some real black hat stuff. I was actually, I was kind of rewriting some really famous books out there. And it didn't appear to be like anything so against the legal terms of Amazon that I get shut down. But that caught up with me. And I think, okay, so Kindle's, now that's a failure. Now what next? So then it sprung to Amazon FBA, and I was thinking, well, how are these people making so much money selling products? Now Amazon FBA was another part of Google. Sprung up, how do I make money online? Okay, Kindle first, no, scratch it off, failure. Second, Amazon FBA. Okay, let's draw something up in terms of, let's really educate myself. Let's get a deep amount of knowledge on this and take this somewhere that's going to far surpass that £863 a month from Kindle. And that was 1 month. And from there, I thought, okay, I'm in the personal training space. Yes, I want to leave this, but what do I have? What do I have a passion for? And that's training, lifting weights. Okay, do I want to look good? Yes. So what can I do in terms of bringing something to market when it comes to Amazon? And that was, right, I'm gonna create a brand new supplement line for myself. And it'll bring out fat burners, whey protein, multivitamins, and so on. And I started, so from that point, that was like, okay, I'm gonna do that. So the next day I walked into work, I pretty much quit. I walked out, that was it, I'm done. Personal training, whatever. I've took what I needed from that personal training industry, and now I wanted to apply it to make a lot of money, to make a name for myself, or to just do something to get myself out of that fucking pit of misery. And like, I was almost, I wasn't in a good place. While it seemed as a personal trainer, you have to have a smile, you have to be laughing all the time. That goes very against how you're actually feeling internally. So anyway, I scrapped that job and moved home. So I moved home from Bristol at the time, which is about 2 hours away from where I was as a personal trainer. So back I went. I remember like becoming obsessed, and I'm not going to say healthily obsessed. I was addicted to researching and to educating myself on the Amazon FBA business model. That's fulfillment by Amazon more than anything else. There was days that I forgot to eat. There was nights that I forgot to sleep, and people still ask me, how do you do this? And that's the response. You stay up late, you wake up early. If you forget meals, give yourself a tap on the back. And I kept it going for 7 months. I remember locking myself, if my granddad's watching this, yo, what's going on? I remember locking myself in my granddad's spare room at the time. I moved home. I just wanted peace and silence to focus on this thing. And for 7 months, 12, 16 hours a day, I researched this business model, the physical product, the private label industry, like it was my job. I didn't have an income at the time. All I did was live. I woke up, I ate, I sometimes slept, and I researched this business model until I was in an opportunity and a place within myself that I was so confident that I wanted to take it. I finally took action. I set the business up, and then things started to really turn, Jay. So, that was a very kind of overview of all that's happened. And, now I'm sat here with you, and it's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how quickly, you went from. But the whole time hearing you talking, two things that I took away from that is, one, you had a failure. You had the Kindle failure, which is, but you bounced back from it. So how long did you take? You said 7 months of studying before you really launched into your business, right?
Yeah, so it was like 7 months overall. Throughout those 7 months, I was kind of, I'd love to have the paper with me and pen. I was literally drawing logos, writing names out of what I could call my supplement company. The designs, the differentiation factors. Okay, so I really started to understand how I was going to make this a success. When you know something, if you know you're going to get a coffee in 5 minutes time from the coffee shop downstairs,
Right.
know you're going to get that coffee. And it was almost like I just knew. I knew as soon as I was going to go live with whatever I was kind of structuring, it was going to make me a lot of money. It was going to bring me big success. And I just knew. And yeah, it was more like design process, then it was company setup, and then it was researching the best ways to kind of set up on Amazon, sole trader, limited company, blah, 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 and the best marketplaces to sell in. Every minute and major detail I focused on within that 7 months. Anyone can ask my granddad, who's on Facebook. He was there the whole time. He's been my biggest supporter, biggest fan. He knows all of the supplements I've released, the dates, every single thing, because he was there. And at the end of that 6 or 7 months, I had the product live, and it was like, it was a dream come true within itself, because on the first day we hit 91 sales of over 2,000.
That's the first day of you launching supplements.
And it was, it was crazy. And obviously, and we're going to talk more about this, some of the black hat tactics that I used, and how I could have ended my Amazon business, my whole journey, how I might have not been here speaking to you if I knew those things back then. And we'll go into them. But yeah, it was crazy. And after 2 hours, my first supplement, which was L-carnitine, for those wondering, that's an appetite suppressant and kind of weight loss supplement. So that's L-carnitine. That did not do less than 10 to 12 sales per day for more than 12 to 14 months of being live.
Wow. So you were making a pretty good profit margin on that.
Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, I launched that product at $9.99. So that product cost me, I believe, £3.74 or £3.80. So that's UK for people wondering. So £3.81, let's say. I then sold that at £9.99 as a launch strategy. So I was in profit, a couple of pounds here and there. Then I started to really raise my price. Then it went £13.97, £14.97, £19.97, and there was one point where I almost kind of lost my head, because I was thinking, okay, this stuff is selling so fast. What happens if I put this from £14.97 up to £39.97? I had 19 units left in stock. The next day, those sold out at more than £40, which is around $50 US for a small supplement that's just coming online into Amazon. And you can imagine what I'm like. I'm there sitting in my granddad's room, with my board shorts on. I got my hoodie, got my coffee and water there, and all of this is happening. All of this is happening right in front of my eyes. Then I've got family and friends telling me it's not going to work. Chris, it's going to fail. Stop it before you start. And I'm there with a big smile on my face after 7 months of hard research and grind with my fingers up. That's not disrespect. That's more of a statement to me that you can fucking do anything if you're willing to put in the blood, sweat, and tears. Literally.
That's amazing, dude. What I like about that too is the fact that you created something with your own mind. You had a lot of doubters that were basically saying, "Hey, Chris, this is gonna fail," and you're basically laughing your way to the bank, right? The video. So you keep talking about your granddad's. Is that the room that you had, like the kitchen office and all that? Is that the infamous hustle station?
No. So that was actually. So it was a strange kind of it was a strange first 12 months when I got into this, because I moved home from Bristol. I spent the research phase in my granddad's house. Then I moved to my dad's house and what I like to call the action phase. And that was like me and my friend Mike Bynan. He's actually traveling to Australia on Tuesday. Go on, Mikey boy, go and do your thing. Me and him literally stayed up day and night packaging like samples of this supplement. And we'd run like Facebook ads to people who like fitness, bodybuilding, weight loss, and so on. And me and Mike were like, this is black hat. Like, listen to what I'm saying. Do not do this. Me and Mike would actually, this is on my, so the table you were seeing on my Facebook, like time is something, waste it wisely. Time is precious, waste it wisely on the wall. we would package up these samples. We'd find the customers on Facebook. They wouldn't pay for them. We'd run a contest. We'd say, if you can share this, comment, like, all the basics of a Facebook ad, we will send you out a 10-day trial of our new supplement. And people went to it like it was crazy. It was floods. We ended up staying like up day and night. And the reason for this, we were physically packaging and sending off these supplements to the people who give us their addresses via Facebook. We'd send it out to them, and then we'd follow up with them 7 days later for a review. Very, very simple. Now, the thing was, and I spoke about this on the AM PM podcast with Manny Coates that I did recently. There was one really, and listen, there was one really black hat moment that I was, this is what we were speaking about at the start. This could have ended me. So my product listing, L-carnitine, was not live on Amazon. So it was, if you search for it, it was currently unavailable. It was nowhere to be seen, ghost status. So what I started to do is I started to send these packages out to people. When the product wasn't live now, okay? So people, and then 7 days later, I would send that link, okay? So I created the product listing. Everything was ready, but it wasn't live because it hadn't been shipped from my supplier to Amazon's warehouse. So it was sitting in the back end of my Seller Central, and that's Amazon's, obviously, Amazon's account that you have with them. So I could get the link. I could send it to you, Jace. I could send it to you. I could send it to my favorite barista who serves me the best coffee. But I couldn't show anyone on Amazon. No one could find it and buy it. I just wanted to make that clear. So what I started to do is I started to send this link to people. I started to send my actual product page link. So this person would receive it. And I remember I sent it to one person who was about 2 hours away from me. I'm not live at this point. And I said, could you review this product for me? They didn't even have the product. They hadn't tested it. That was a black hat. I said, can you just review this? And they said, yeah, sure, no problem at all. 5 minutes later, I ended up with 1 5-star review. And I was like, okay. So someone's just reviewed this product. It's come on 5-star, and it's on my listing, but my listing's not live. I don't go live for 4 weeks. Okay, perfect. I'm going to rinse and repeat this process until I've got more reviews than anybody else in the L-carnitine and fat loss space on Amazon UK. I rinse and repeated until I had like 106 reviews. On the day of launch, it was 4 weeks after getting like all of these reviews, massive amount of reviews. I think one of the biggest brands in the world, I'm not going to say any names, had like 68 reviews at the time. I had 106. I went live and went live. After 2 hours of going live, I was bestseller. I stripped the bestseller tag from the biggest brand in the world. Wow. And then I maintained my top position of all of my main keywords on the top of Amazon for the duration of like 12 to 14 months before, obviously, I started to blog about my journey and stuff like that. And if I'm honest, if I hadn't have done that, I don't think I'd be where I am now.
So that process is not recommended to anybody watching this now, right?
Do not do that. Do not recommend it. Do not try it. Do not use it. Do not do it. Take what I said and move on with the legal, ethical processes of getting reviews.
And for the record, you did not, at that time, you probably didn't even know that was not allowed. You were just trying to hustle your way to get, I was doing that with Kindle ebooks. I was getting a lot of reviews. And, now that process isn't allowed or it's really frowned upon. So, but I appreciate you being transparent, because a lot of people coming in, onto the show or into internet marketing will not tell that story that you just told. So that's a very good heads up for people that are going to buy your course and go through this.
And I did that for the first 5, 6, 7 products I released. I could clock up 50 reviews easily. And anyone within the Kindle space or Amazon space or for merch space selling t-shirts, you know how difficult it is to get 1 review. Not a 1 5-star review, 1 review. If that's 1 star, that's a massive, massive challenge. And I was clocking up reviews like no tomorrow. And it was unethical, but I didn't know. I didn't even read the terms and conditions. All I saw was, okay, supplement, money, I'm going to get paid. I'm going to buy cars. I'm going to spend on watches. I'm going to take my family on holidays. I'm going to sit on the beach, get some sun. And that's all I saw. I didn't care about any of the side effects. Just give me the sales so I can take the money and I can do my thing. That's all I saw.
Wow. So you did that. You're getting some massive success with that. And then where'd you go? You just continue to grow that business, right? You were making what time for people out there, and for my own, what time frame is this when your business is at its height? We're like 2016 or 17?
Yeah. So I set my company up like May 2015. I went live on August the 16th, 2015. The peak of my business pretty much went from there. I would say the real height of it was between the start and mid of 2016. And yeah, and that was big. And I mean, I was cashing in at plus $9,000 every 2 weeks payments from Amazon. There was one month that I'd done £52,000 UK. There was another month, £46,000, which I'll show people the screenshots for. Other months, 18, 24, and so on. I will tell you a little story that is always kind of stuck in my mind. And, you know, Dad, if you're watching, all due respect, I love you, but this is the story. So I remember sitting in my room when I was at my dad's through the action phase, me and Mikey packing, picking, shipping, all of that good stuff. And my dad was saying, yeah, you're home now. Do you want me to set you up with some interviews for personal training back home? And I was like, Dad, in all honesty, you know, I've just been through that industry for the last couple of years. I'd like to just do my own thing, you know, take a bit of a risk, start this online stuff because I know it's got potential. And he kind of said, yeah, okay, you know, do your thing. And the next week he set me up with an interview, and I was like, okay, Dad, I'm going to go to kind of, you know, be nice about the process, but I'm not going to take the job if it goes well. And he was like, yeah, fine. And he knew through the time I was setting up this business, but you know our parents, you know our friends, our families, there's no belief system if they really don't know the full instructions and depth and detail to what we're doing. And I remember after month one of like, I didn't take any of the jobs or anything like that. And I said, Dad, come into my room. Look, I just done like £6,000 this month. And he's like, yeah, that's great. That's great. All of that stuff. Like the attitude is, it might not last, but good work. Keep going. Right. And the next month I was like, Dad, look, I just done £16,000. Dad, come in again, third month. Dad, it's just £24,000. And again, £46,000. Dad, this is fucking real. Look, I've just bought the new car. It's here. It's outside.
You had the Audi, right? That was the first.
Yeah, I bought my Audi. I would like all of that stuff. And it's like, yeah, I bought that through the business. I wouldn't be able to do that myself. It's all coming from here, the laptop. Look, the four walls right here. And I think that shocked a lot of people in my area who know me back home. Like building up the presence online, that it's not just about going and grafting in a builder's yard 9 to 5, even though that's great and there's nothing wrong with that, but there is other opportunities where you can sit on the sofa, you can sit here and you can actually make things happen. I've kind of digressed from what we were talking about there, Jay. So
no, I like it, man. I mean, I like the free flowing approach, dude. This is some great stuff, man. So we know a lot about your story. I want to talk about, maybe for the people that are going to watch, man, thousands of people are going to watch this around the world for years and years to come. So what can you tell someone who is in your, or, you know, is about to embark on this journey? Maybe the top 3 things someone, a complete beginner can do to be successful at the private labeling and FBA business.
So like, first off, let's move the private labeling just on the table, buy our coffee cups a minute, and let's look at your support system. And I always say, no matter what it is, no matter what journey, adventure you're going on, you've got to have those people who support you, that understand where you're going, what your vision is, the concept of everything you want in life. But I found that a big struggle. Like, you know, there was days I'd be in tears. There was days that, you know, I just walk. Like, it seems stupid, but I get out the house and I just walk and I think, I'm so alone on this journey, but my vision is so strong that it's not going to end. And it was just like, I would love to have someone right there, so maybe right there sitting with me going, go on, Chris, just give it your all. And I would say that would be one of the biggest things, making sure you've got, you know, that one friend, 2 family members, giving you a tap on the back, praising you here and there, and just believing in you. So that would be my first kind of batch. The second thing is, obviously, don't do the review thing that Chrissy just said. They'll get your account not just suspended, but they will tell you to walk away and never come back.
You'll never get it back.
You'll never get that back. So scratch that. So the second one would honestly be to make sure you're going into a market that's evergreen. You know this with Kindle. I know this with Amazon FBA, Shopify. You've got to go into a market that's, in my personal opinion, many will disagree with me, but I like to go and sell products and recommend people products that were selling 10 years ago, that are selling now very well, high velocity and good demand, and will do so, will continue to sell 10, 20, 30 years from now. If you're looking to build a business, do it the long term. Do it for the business, build a brand, limit all of the money you take from the business. Trust me when I say this. I've done it, I've been there, I've overspent, I've almost put my business under multiple times. So I would say that definitely go with a product that's a year-round seller, that's evergreen, that's in a good market, that's competitive, but it's not oversaturated, that you can make your money and that you can be happy, you can be comfortable, you can be fulfilled in, and something you're not going to get bored of. So whether that product comes from a passion product or a mixture between a passion and business product, which is just making you money for business and interlinking with your passion, such as supplements as well. So I'd always give that. Now, the third thing that I'd say, and this is massive, and I believe that this comes down to one of the biggest points why some people, unfortunately, are not bringing the best products to market, therefore they're not making the biggest successes they can within this, and that is product differentiation and uniqueness. There is so many people now that message me and say, Chris, I'm going to bring out this product. And I say, that's a great product. But what about all of the other people on page 1, page 2, page 3 with the exact same product as you? What if you did this? What if you put a quirky handle on the coffee cup? What if you added an addition, an espresso glass and a saucer to this? What if you add 2 coffee cups? What if you made them, with some design, with something different, with more quality, with something different, differentiation and uniqueness? You can only stand out in a market if you stand out. And I think that is something that people really need to look at before just jumping the wagon and saying they're going to sell a fucking yoga mat. Because it's not that easy.
Yeah, that's been done before, huh? That's pretty hard to penetrate that market when there's the top person probably has like 500 reviews and all that stuff.
Yeah. You get products on Amazon now with thousands of reviews, and it's demoralizing looking as a producer thinking I can never go and compete with them. But I look at it as I think you can compete with everybody if your innovation and idea for that idea is good enough. If it's got a unique selling point, if it's strong enough to bring to market, you believe in it, people have said it's going to be a great product, they've used it, it is great, then you've got a chance, you've got a fighting chance. And I think it comes down to more, have some confidence and belief in yourself as well as your product and brand, and just continue to hustle with relentless consistency and to never stop. So
wow, that's good. Yeah, don't be a copycat for all those out there. Yeah,
exactly.
So what's your average day look like, man? Let me ask you this. Let's start with this. How many Facebook messages do you get every day?
So I wake up at the moment to, I'd say, message requests between 15 and 20 every morning, every single morning. So that means you have to actually go into
random people that aren't friends with you.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have to accept the request, accept. And the usual message looks like, hey, Chris, I've found you online. I see you doing private labeling with Amazon. Is there any way you can help me, advise me on any of this? Or it's as simple. I think this really does help my day. Some of the questions are just like, I'm struggling. Where do you find the motivation, the energy? Just to go, to keep going in life. And those people I love to respond to. I love to respond to everybody. But yeah, between 15 and 20. And then, there's a lot of unread messages in my Facebook, guys. My apologies. I can't get through them all at one time. So yeah, but it's good. I love it.
Keeps you busy. So you go through the messages, and what are you doing? I mean, I know you're doing your personal brand, right? You're big into, creating your Zone Life Success brand, your blog, your programs and courses, which I've gone through. The Amazon FBA course, by the way, which this is not like, hey, Chris is on, so I'm gonna blow smoke up his ass and say, hey, it's the greatest course. But what I want to say about your course, dude, is you inject a lot of the personality that you're coming through with on the screen and that you come through with on your videos is in that course. And I know a lot of us have been through these courses and they're just dry and they're boring. And it's like the Chris Jones that you're seeing right now is in these or on these courses. So that's something that I wanted to, tell you, because I don't think I've ever told you that. So I appreciate you doing all that.
Thank you. A lot of people say that as well. They're like, Chris, I'm going through this course. Can you tell me one thing you haven't mentioned in your course? How is it that you can get me to think that you and I are having a coffee together over the table and you're reading this to me? And that's something that I really wanted to make an impact in the course. I wanted the people to go through it. And this isn't selling the course. This is just what we do. I wanted someone to feel that they were sat next to me and we were drinking a coffee together and just going through it together. I was just spewing it out to them. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I was actually going through I don't know if it was the last night, it was a couple nights. I was listening to a course on my laptop. And because I'm always, I'm in the constant learning phase. I feel like, whether you're at the top level or the bottom level, whatever you're at, like Warren Buffett, he reads like, I don't know, 10,000 or not 10,000 books, but like a ton of 10,000 words a day or something like that. Crazy amount, so he's the second wealthiest man in the world. So you never stop learning. But I'm going through this course and I'm literally falling asleep on the couch with my laptop. So that won't happen with the Chrissy J course. If you guys go ahead and get that.
I don't know how that Chrissy J has come about. Over the last 6 months, no one's calling me Chris. Chrissy J. Chrissy J. What?
I like it though because your name is so common. So if you switch it up with the Chrissy J and all that, so there's actually a famous YouTuber with Chris Jones. I don't know if you follow him, Pump Chasers.
Greatness, he's jacked, bro.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. So you guys are actually both like on the same energy spectrum. You guys should collab on something, man.
Yeah, that would be good. That would be good.
So, geez, okay, we're going on a tangent. So I want to do a part 2 of this video with the personal branding, but but we'll go into the full like how you're doing that in the next video. But can you talk a little bit about how you've built yourself into sort of a household name when it comes to when someone talks about Amazon FBA? Your name is going to get brought up in that conversation now.
Mm-hmm. I think, again, this happened by accident. It did happen. There was some inclination of this happening by mistake. And I think that comes, going back to Amazon stuff, going back to the starting journey from someone who was taking a wage of £1,100 per month every 4 weeks from a personal training job. That was once a massive passion that started to deter because the workload was so much. After seeing so much money come in from Amazon, from the screenshots that you can go onto your account on your phone, I'd look at them every night and 67 sales, 78 sales. There was one day where I hit 160 something sales. And it was just like, I can't keep this to myself. Now, I was never a big social media guy before typing in online that night, how do I make money while I sleep? But there was something within me that I had to share this, even though Chris is a personal trainer. What's he selling this stuff for? Like, what's he doing on Amazon? I started to just post screenshots. Started to post screenshots on Facebook, my personal Facebook, which I still have now. And I started to get a massive response, just like, what? Like, honestly, people were in absolute shock, total awe of what was happening. Same as me. And I started then to continue my Amazon journey, bring out more products, to show the whole process to everyone throughout all of the processes I was going through, the design, the new logos, the product I'm bringing out next. I was almost selling to an audience that didn't have a clue what I was doing. More sales every night. And it started to it must have just engraved in people's heads. People started to message me. I didn't know who these people were. And there was one time about 6 months into my Amazon business where someone said to me, Chris, totally out of the blue, acceptance message kind of style, Chris, can you write me a product listing page for Amazon? I was thinking, yeah, I can do that. I've done 5 now. I can do that. That's fine. And he said, how much do I owe you? And I was like, I don't really know. $1
million.
It was a very kind of strange and surreal moment. I'd written this product list and it was great. I didn't really know at the time if it was going to do much because I was only 6 months in. And I said £149, which is about $200. And there was no hesitation in paying me that money. And I was thinking, hold up. So now I'm making money with Amazon and now someone's just paying me to write content for their Amazon listing. Now they're making massive sales on Amazon and telling me how helpful I was as a testimonial. I've got to sit back and think, what other opportunities are there with this? And that's what happened. I started to become more active on Facebook. And the biggest thing that I've done is, as you know, I've been totally transparent, honest with every single process, every failure. People are still in shock when I talk about my failures, mistakes, everything. I've just continued that relentlessly in a consistent fashion. I've posted more stuff on Facebook than I believe anyone has in the Amazon world.
I think so. I was actually talking to, not to interrupt you, but I was actually talking to our mutual friend, Ben Gothard. Shout out to Ben. I know, Ben, you better be watching this, or you better be watching the replay of this. But I said, you know, Chris isn't doing everything technically right. Like at least I don't know if you have like your own personal fan page now.
No, not. I usually use my personal.
He just uses his, I was like, he uses his personal page. He offers massive value. He's taking massive action, and he's getting a ton of people hitting him up. You're getting, you know, and I think there's something to that. I was like, you know, why create like my own personal fan page when you get so much more organic reach on your own page?
Yeah, exactly.
So
yeah, and like,
yeah,
you can do it right. And you know, just a few hours a day on Facebook. I mean, like at the start, you just give as much as you can. Like, don't stop taking people, stop taking from everyone, and start giving. Provide money. If you want to become successful in the market, then go out and see in that market who's providing the most value, and then provide more and better value than them. Stop making it so complicated. Don't copy. Take inspiration, then replicate. Stay consistent. It's that process that is the very simple form that many people like overlook. So that's all I did. I just hit value. I stayed consistent with it, and then here we are, Jace. I guess
here we are, man. You popped up on the radar, dude, and you know, it sort of reminds me of the 10x rule by Grant Cardone. He talks about, he goes, there's no law that says you can't post 100 times on Twitter. 100. He's like, you got people hitting me up, or people like talking junk about him on Twitter that he posts too much. He's like, look, I'm the name brand, and I'm the best leading brand in what he does, which is like selling, you know, teaching people how to sell. And he's like, yeah, I've out surpassed everybody because I've taken more action. I've 10x'd everything I do. And that you remind me of a little bit of him, but like Gary Vee and a combination of, you know, all these people. So it's cool. So what is your posting schedule? Do you wake up and say, I'm going to do, you know, 10 posts a day?
Never. I'm probably the most unstructured when it comes to that. I'm very sporadic. I'm very in the moment, kind of like, okay, if I can get a cool photo here, or like, all I have to sometimes do is pull out my phone and like just do a video, whatever's in the moment. If I've got like a high level of energy, and like I haven't always got massive energy. Like everyone has their ups and down moments. Like, but I'm very consistent with my like energy levels, but it's not all the time.
How are you doing these? How are you doing these cool cinematic photos, man? Do you have like a tripod, or you have someone? I know you got a new lady in your life now. Man, is she doing it or what?
So I actually use, and many people will actually hate me for this, but everyone's saying like, Chris, how do you take these photos, bro? But really, they're just normal photos, and they're edited with 30 seconds retention. So I actually use a app. It's called Snapseed. That's Snapseed.
Heard of that? Yeah.
So that helps you like structure the background, the backdrop. It makes you look a bit more beautiful and handsome as well, Jace, which helps. And then so
I need all the help I can get on that, man. Ben told me something funny. He's like, Chris will out angle everybody in the photo too.
I mean, so you can do all of that stuff, and that's what it is. It's Snapseed, and I actually my favorite feature on there, and that's what makes everything like dramatized in the background, makes your beard hairs stick up, and that's
there we go.
That's structure and sharpening for anyone wondering. So,
wow,
cool. I mean, if you head over to my Facebook, so yeah.
Yeah, we'll see those photos on there, man. Wow, bro.
Where were we? We've gone off track.
Where were we, man? We could be going for hours and hours, man. So we're going to save it for a part 2. So let's talk a little bit about the Amazon Superstar course for anybody that's going to be watching this, that's interested in going through. I put the tag down there, the world's best Amazon course. And I believe it is. I mean, I haven't been through them all, but knowing you and knowing your transparency and knowing the value that you provide, I think people are going to be able to jump in and hopefully even do better than what you did. Is that your goal in the course?
Of course. It's like anyone can do this. Anyone can obviously do this. people always ask me, Chris, how much do I need to start this private label business? And the answer is X. It's X until you know what product you're selling. It's X until you know what supplier you're working with. And it's X until you get that specific quote, that specific price from how much the product is per unit and how much the shipping or potential air freight is. Without those, you're not going to know. You've got to get down to the research. And that comes with either from a course, either from learning from someone who's been there, or spending 7 months researching on Google and YouTube, whatever path you want to take. So yeah, the Amazon Superstar, I created that pretty much based off like, failures and mistakes and like more so like shock success. Like I have got to write about what just happened over the last year. I've got to tell people. And within that guide, there's optimization with his Amazon listings. There's all the supplier freight forwarder information. There's I don't want to go through it all. People can see by the curriculum. And there's just a lot of good, honest information there, Jason. It's a lot for people just to take in and learn from.
And you're building up a complete catalog. So you've got the Amazon, you've got the social media. What's the other one? You have another one in there too.
Yeah,
right?
so I like to speak to people. So I like to do some online consultancy as well. So I just like to speak to people 30 minutes or an hour here and there, do some packages as well. So yeah, the other one is consultancy. So for anyone looking to get irritated for 30 minutes, then hit me up.
Get motivated, get on the energy level. I need to go through it, man. I've been talking about this with you for the last time we talked, man. I've got obviously.
I will upsell you. So
hey, man, you know what? Here's what I tell people when it comes to online courses, because I've been in this market before too, and I believe your course is what, $297. The FBA. Looks like we're having a little technical difficulties. Chris, you there, partner? What's up, Antoine? How you doing, man? Let's see if we can't join back in here. Looks like we lost Mr. Chris Jones, but what we'll do, guys, we're having a little technical difficulties. Chris, what's up, dude? There he is. Hold on here. There he is. Chrissy J's back.
We're back, bro. Hey, that's Welsh weather for you, Jace. My apologies.
I know, man. You, it's all good, brother. It's all good. I thought we were about to lose you, man, but you came right back on. So, well, geez, man. Let's talk about it. So we got the course going, and it's $297, right?
Yeah, $297.
$297. So what I always tell people, man, when it comes to like courses and stuff like that, is like, because I used to be in this space, and I'm probably gonna jump back in it. And it's like for $297, you can get something that will change your entire life. That can potentially, if you use it and you follow the tips that Chris is gonna give you, you can change your entire freaking life. And you can go down to a community college and take a class on like, whatever, and it's gonna cost you more than that. So I'm a huge believer in self-education. I believe that self-education, the quote by Jim Rohn is, I believe it's, typical education will make you a living, but self-education will make you a fortune.
Great.
So cool, bro. Is there anything else you want to tell the viewers, anything that we haven't talked about that you want to get off your chest?
I would just like to apologize for the loss of connection, actually.
Man, it's all good, dude. You know what, man? And it's a good example of what all this takes, man. There's going to be stuff that happens that doesn't go smooth sailing. And it's like, what are you going to do? It's like, are you going to go home and like, oh, this was a massive failure because the connection cut out, or just move on, whatever.
Battle the hard seas and keep sailing, baby.
Exactly, man.
I like what we'll do in part two, and for everyone that's watching, You know, I'd like to show you the whole kind of how I went from Amazon FBA to building myself up as an authority to now selling e-courses and teaching others to become an authority in that area. I think a lot of people forget the journey just where it ends with a specific something. So to show people, if you can get good at something, you can teach that something. And if your goal is to be a millionaire, you can become a millionaire through a lot of ways online. And if you can teach and become the best consultant or the best e-course creator, then, you know, the sky's the limit.
I love it, man. That's what I'm doing with my life right now, man. I'm focused on, you know, the e-commerce. I'm focused on, you know, Shopify, kind of what I'm doing. But the personal brand, being able to, if that doesn't work, if you always have yourself, you know, as long as you're alive, you can do something that, you know, can inspire people, and you can potentially use yourself as your own brand.
Yeah,
so,
that's it. But that's awesome.
That's great, man. So we'll do a part 2. I don't know when we're gonna do it. I know Chris is busy. I'm pretty busy, but I want to do a part 2 and really talk about, because I don't think a lot of people have talked about how someone has been in your shoes and created a successful business and then launched a personal brand, a personal course. A lot of times we don't get that story. So I want to go into that the next time we talk, for sure.
Yeah, we'll go more in depth about, like, you know, some of experience, Jace, which will add some serious value to the viewers as well.
Can't wait, brother. So thank you so much for joining. Anybody interested, there's a link right down in the description below that will take you to, you know, the Amazon FBA course. You can go to Chris's website, Zone Life Success. I'll link his Facebook. You know, don't blow his inbox up too much, you know, with the random questions. We answered a lot here. And Chris, again, thank you so much for spending some time with me, man. And I can't wait to talk to you again soon.
Thank you, Jace. Cheers, everyone.
All right. See you guys.
Bye-bye.